beauty is felt?
Beauty, is it felt or seen? I feel like in this day and age, beauty is seen, not really felt. You know, I feel like there's this standard of beauty that so many young women want to, be a part of. But really, like, you're beautiful yourself. You don't really have to, like, that's just one example, There's many different forms of beauty. Everyone comes in different shapes and forms, Why are we looking at one standard of beauty when there are many examples of beauty?
I think beauty is, in this world today, beauty is definitely seen.
Okay.
I think it's felt.
That's a really interesting question.
I'm not.
I feel like it's felt, but it's both because like when you experience something, it's kind of like all of your senses like together interacting. All right, but because like you see things, it's like, and then you process what you're seeing. But so like how like I guess blind people like how how they're sad that they can't see because they're not able to see like all the things that a lot of but then like I guess after you process it, like so that's the sight, then you feel it because like it's like, oh, this image just like has something that's resonating within me, and then it's like beautiful.
I think it's both.
Both.
Yeah, I'd say both.
My eye color.
Why?
Hazel
What eye?
or green. Why?
Yeah.
Because my dad and my brother have nice eyes and I don't.
Why
So
are there?
because they have nice eyes, you want nice
I mean,
eyes.
I'd want nice eyes because it just make me a better person in my opinion.
Hold on.
So you think nice eyes makes you a better person?
No,
In
wait,
my opinion,
wait.
yeah.
Why are their nice? Why are their eyes nice and why aren't yours nice?
Because I don't want basic brown eyes. I'd like some color.
Why can't brown eyes be beautiful?
Because I just don't. I'm sick of having brown eyes now. I want something different.
Does it have to do with society?
No, it just has to do with what goes on in my mind. But if people want to say it goes with society, then sure.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
If I could change one thing. I don't think I wouldn't change anything. I feel like I'm okay there.
My height. I'm so short. My height.
Why would you change it?
Because I just want to feel like bigger, like just part of something. I just feel like it's just so limited,
If you could change something about yourself, what would you change?
Just one?
Yes.
At times I could be hot-tempered, so I like to be a little more patient.
If you could change something about yourself, what would you change?
What?
If you could change something about yourself, what would you change?
Something about myself. What will you change? I am changing every day. That's my life. If I don't like to be in static condition. I am dynamic. So change is in my blood. All right. So.
If you could change something about yourself, what would you change?
Okay, so I'm really self-conscious about my forehead. I try to do a lot to cover it up. I had bangs at one point, and that wasn't cute. But yeah, maybe my forehead.
Why would you change it?
Because it's massive.
Yeah, but do you think it's because of like society?
Yeah, because like I wasn't really self-conscious about my forehead until like I got into like middle school, and everybody's like, "Wow, you got you have the biggest forehead I've ever seen." And I guess the standard of foreheadism or whatever. I guess it's like relative to like other people. I don't have a normal size forehead.
Okay. If you could change something about yourself, what would you change? Like anything physical?
Oh, I always wish I had longer legs.
Why?
I wish I was a little taller.
Is it because of like society and like what
I think when I was much younger, I think I wished for things. As I'm older, I appreciate what I have. And I think I just always wished I was a little taller.
Mental attraction.
My definition of beauty My definition of beauty, I don't really have a definition of beauty. I feel beauty is different for everyone, you know? I think there's not a one like set definition. You know, I feel like it's whatever you feel as beauty. What's your definition of beauty? That's what I feel.
It is, I guess, your inner spirit, you know, what the person you are on the inside versus the outside, how good of a person you are, you know, how good of a character you are.
It is something that might be intangible or tangible that one finds attractive in somebody else.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd say beauty is like really subjective. You know? It's different to everyone. It's different.
What's your definition of beauty?
Well, my definition of beauty is completely inward. So anybody I can see could be beautiful. It's like even if you're the most ugliest on the outside, I think beauty lies within entirely.
What's your definition of beauty?
I think beauty is about attributes, so I would say kindness would be part of beauty, and yeah, I think really kindness.
Beauty.
Society's standard of beauty. Long hair, curves between a size 00 and a 4 in a dress. That's about it. I feel like as long as you're skinny and you got long hair, that's society's standard of beauty.
Okay.
Physical beauty, like having a nice body, having nice facial features and all that. I mean, like, you walk up to a person and she has a beautiful face without makeup on, or with makeup, because, you know, some guys actually like makeup, some don't like makeup, you know. It's all physical preference, I guess.
Society's standard of beauty is, you know, you're like rail thin, you know, size 2, pretty, demure, intelligent, but not too intelligent, you know, independent, but not too independent. You know, maybe I'm a little old school, but, you know, I just think it's very, very superficial. So, yeah.
It's in the eyes of the beholder. I don't know.
You don't know?
Beauty,
In the eyes of the beholder. Okay.
what they want
Yeah.
from beauty. But they want to market it. That's why
Yeah.
commercial, you know, beauty is in the market. That's what they sell, you know. Marketing, you know, everywhere you go, marketing, nothing there.
What's society's standards of beauty?
Society puts ridiculous amount of pressure on both men and women for beauty. Men have to be 6'5", have a 24-pack for abs, and probably weigh at most 190 pounds while being 6'5". For women, it's even worse. Women have to be less than 100 pounds, almost to the point that the ribs are showing in the commercials. Blonde-haired, unfortunately, for the most part.
I think everybody has their different standards, and I feel like America's standard is like light skin or white, long hair, voluptuous body. That means the curves and the butt and the boobs and everything that you see on TV. So we have a really skewed idea of what beauty is, and it all depends on who you are actually.
All right.
I think a lot of emphasis is put on physical beauty, and you know, particularly the way maybe even a woman should look or a particular size. So I do think our society favors like thinner, fit people, and particularly as people age, they don't really celebrate the gray hairs and things like that. So this youth is beautiful, and also just a very fit kind of person.
I'd say Selena Gomez. Yo, you ever see her in in those commercials where she flips her hand on it? So nice. So nice.
No, Idris Elba, he's gorgeous.
Oh, hello. See, I picked Bruno Mars.
So why would you pick him?
Idris, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Just
I've always been a big fan of Sandra Oh.
Why?
She did a movie. We're the same age pretty much, and she did a film when she was young, and it really was about her growing up in her ethnic household, and I could kind of relate in certain ways, and I just always loved her energy.
It's hard. I don't know. I have a real dorky crush on Robert Downey Jr. because like he's just gorgeous. I believe so.
So, because he's gorgeous, like.
And he's funny. He's really funny.
It's tough. 2. Celebrity. I'm going to say Harry Connick Jr. He was the judge on American Idol just because he's funny, cute, intelligent, you know. And he's really good with like anything musical. So
Rachel Weisz. I think Rachel's Weisz is very attractive. I think, like for example, a male actor that might be considered handsome would be Daniel Craig, Rachel Weisz's husband.
Okay. Think about this picture.
It's ugly. It needs color and some straight lines.
What if I tell you that the person who drew this was a 5-year-old girl who had cancer before she died?
That changes everything.
So what do you think now?
I mean, she put great effort into it.
Okay. When you see this, what do you think of it?
I think a child drew it, maybe.
Do you think it's ugly or?
I think it's cute.
It's cute?
I think they're just expressing their creativity in that picture.
Okay. What do you think, like, if I showed you this picture, what would you think of it? Like, honestly.
honestly, it's cute. It looks like my daughters would have drawn that picture.
Okay. Okay. So if I showed you this picture, right? Would you tell me you feel the picture or like is it beautiful to you, the picture?
No, it's
No?
jarring, and I feel that.
Alright, but
it's
what
so
if I
hideous
tell
that
you?
I feel it.
Oh, wow. Okay. What if I tell you a little girl who was 5 years old and had cancer? This was the last picture she drew.
Oh my god. Yeah, I feel that now.
You feel it now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh my god, stop, I feel bad.
Okay. Next question.
Oh my god. Wait, stop. I can't
What's
answer
okay? When you see this picture, do you think it's beautiful or is it?
I think it's gorgeous because it looks like a child has drawn it, and I love children. Children are the most beautiful thing on the planet Earth.